Hi guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you the do's and don'ts when creating character nail art. So let's get right into it. We're not going to waste no time in this video because it is a short 15 minutes. Let's talk about proportions and building the foundation for your character. The first thing you have to do is pick a starting point. And for me, that was the very tip of her hairline at the top of her head, and then I just went straight down. Next, I'm creating her jawline. Notice how I extend her jawline and her chin past that starting point that we used for the top of her head. Those are the tiny details that will make or break your character, so be sure to pay attention to things like that. The next thing I want you to focus on is actually the shape of her head. She has more of a football shape and less of a round face. So as I'm connecting the lines and filling in the space, that's what I want to envision in my mind, is more of a football shape. After this point, you can start working on her neck, and notice how her neck is right in line with the starting point that we used for the top of her head. One really important thing that I want you to notice right now is my brush. If you're struggling to create fine lines with your characters, it's most likely because 1, you have the wrong brush, or 2, you have too much product on that brush. So what I'm using here is a 20mm brush, and I'll link the exact brush down in the description below. I love this brush, it's helped me so much with my characters. But I want you to notice how I'm only using the tip of the brush. I don't put big blobs of product onto the brush. I just drag the brush lightly through the gel polish to get it evenly through the brush. And then I only use the tip of that brush when I'm creating my lines. And then right about here, I realized that my proportions were off because my girly was gonna be a big girly and she's not. So I just went in with a brush and some nail polish remover to clean that up. And then I started retracing my lines of what I thought her proportions would be. Next, I started outlining her waist and her arm. Her arm is sort of in line with the puff of her dress, so I went sort of straight down. Well, not necessarily straight, but as straight as I could make it, because you notice that there's sort of a black triangle of her hair in between her waist and her arm. So I needed to make sure to leave some space for that. Now let's talk about the do's and don'ts when it comes to shading and adding a little bit of dimension to your character. Now there are so many ways to do this, but I'm going to share with you my personal favorite. This is what I always do, and I think, quite frankly, it's the easiest method when it comes to shading. So you ready? This is exactly what I did. I took 2 drops of brown gel polish and mixed it with 1 drop of clear base coat gel polish, not top coat, base coat. To me, this gives me the perfect transparency that I need when blending out my light and dark areas for shading. Now, I'm sure the next question you have is, how exactly do I shade the character? So what you want to do is you want to take a liner brush. It doesn't have to be a 20mm, it could be like a 12 or even an 8. You're just gonna blob some of that brown onto the dark areas that you see, like her chest and underneath her neck. And with an ombre brush, you're gonna start tapping out the product. The best thing that I can compare this to is the way we put on our foundation. That same tap and move motion that we use to move the foundation around our face is the exact same motion that you're gonna use when using the ombre brush to move the product or the gel polish around your character's face. Now, you do have to do this in a couple of layers because one will not be enough. Quite frankly, I did this in 3 layers, but I felt like I wanted 3 just so that way when I top coated everything, it popped a little bit more, but I probably could have gotten away with 2. For this next part of the video, I'm just gonna let you guys watch so you can see how I brought the character to life and put all of the details onto her face. And here she is, my beautiful bald queen. I just gotta go ahead and add the details to her hair. So right here is gonna be her hair, and here as well. And while I'm doing that, I do want to take the time to say that if you're enjoying this video, please give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. And also let me know in the comments down below if you enjoy these types of videos or if you just prefer like normal videos with like 3D acrylic and French designs. But I feel like that's pretty repetitive. I don't know, character nail art is just where it's at for me. I love characters, I love creating new things, and it's always something different and something you can learn when it comes to characters. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Now we can move on to creating the 3D pieces of the character. And here's what you need to know when using solid nail gel. One, the more you play with it in your fingers, the stickier it's gonna get, and it will be very tricky to remove it from your gloves. At that point, you're just gonna need new gloves. And two, rather than try to pull out the right proportion straight out of the jar, what you want to do is take out a blob from the jar and roll it into a caterpillar, and then from there just pick the tiny little piece that you need from the caterpillar that you just rolled, and that'll make it way easier to create tiny little 3D pieces like this. Also, this is very important. You should be curing in between each little piece. Do not add a new section without curing what you just did, because then you'll just mesh it all together, and you don't want that. You want each piece to be defined. But there is so much to talk about when it comes to 3D art and solid nail glue. So if you're interested, I do have a whole video about it, and I'll be sure to put that in the description as well so that you guys can check it out. That's it for this video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you guys learned some tips and tricks that you can hopefully apply to your own nail art. As always, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video.